Okay, you wonderful weirdos, welcome back to Little RJ's Comic Book Box, where I pick up a variety of comic books for my grandson's comic book collection as I get that started for him. This one's going to be a little unusual. I have to kind of give you a little backstory to this one. So I scope auctions like anybody else does, and there was one that was strictly for comic books. And there was a lot of stuff in it. Huge keys. I knew that everything was going to be well over anything I was going to buy. But there were some things that were kind of like military themed and things like that. But you couldn't really see all the comic books in it. So I low bidded the price on it and I got two of the boxes. And they came here. I started looking through a lot of wartime comic books and some older Flash stuff, some generic type issues. But I did find these things for his box. These are in loved condition is what I'm going to call it. They've been used. But there's some really cool stuff in here that I really want to pass on to my grandson. And let's jump right into it. First, I want to start off with just some cool, iconic type covers for him. So, starting off with Adventure Comics, this Spectre cover. It's a classic cover. You've seen this at Comic Cons. It's probably one of my favorite ones of the Spectre. Really kind of enhances that. Another one from Superman's pal, the new Jimmy Olsen. This is an interesting one with our Dracula on the front. There's also a secondary story in here where it talks about the Guardian, an older character. Every now and then gets brought into mainstream, but for the most part, this kind of cheesy Dracula. I thought that was a fun cover for him. Speaking of covers, we have some unusual verbiage in the comic book community. One of those is bondage covers. And Lois Lane, or Superman's girlfriend, Lois Lane. This is issue number 122. Just that classic bondage cover that we've seen out there. It's usually up on a wall at a Comic-Con. So, yeah. Next, this one's a little different. So this is it's Batman Detective Comics number 474, and this is the first modern depiction of Deadshot, which you kind of recognize from the Suicide Squad movie and was being used most modern. It's kind of that revamping of him that we kind of know of him today. So definitely want him to kind of have that. I like Deadshot as a character. I think he's a classic villain. So why not? Next, another kind of weird one. This is Swamp Thing number 7. Again, just iconic cover. And this is the first meeting of Swamp Thing and Batman, where they kind of work together. They kind of start off as, we don't understand each other, let's fight. And then all of a sudden they're like, okay, we're both buddies. So yeah, super cool that he got that in there. Let's see here. So now we get into some very much older comic books. First one is Fighting Forces. This is number, I don't know why I do this. Just put your cheaters on, Pocan. This is Fighting Forces number 42. This is the first appearance of Pooch, a canine in the military. 10-cent copy. It's a wonderful book. I mean, the art on the inside solid. It's that old war type comic book, and it kind of deals with some more adult type themes in it, like war and stuff like that. So again, this is one of those ones that has been heavily loved by somebody. So we'll definitely protect that. Another one, just some odd books. Espionage. This is a one-shot. One and done. Kind of deals with the whole spying thing in a more comic book format. It's an interesting book. I don't know if I'm going to keep it in there, but I thought it was unique and rare enough that we could probably put it in there and he would one day enjoy it or sell it. Next, The Lieutenant. So this deals with Marine Corps lieutenant who's kind of like, I don't want to say super soldier, but he's like the epitome of what you would think of a Marine soldier from that era. Again, this is another one of those one and dones. Great painted cover, of course, with the comic book interior. Not in bad condition. I mean, again, comic book was loved by somebody. But that's good. All right. And these are the three biggest surprises I found in this comic book collection. One is Swamp Thing, number 1. This is the first of our Alec character, Alec Holland. What we know to be Swamp Thing today. His first run. Yeah, I got that. That was in the War comic books. It's so weird. So yeah, super happy to get that. There's a couple other first appearances there. Arcane, one of them, a known villain of Swamp Things, kind of deals with the flora, plant life type of thing, and a few others in there as well. I thought that was a solid. Next, this one actually I had to kind of stop for a second. One, because of its condition. Two, because it really didn't belong in there, and that's G.I. Joe number 21, the famed silent issue. I love this comic book, and I was scared I was going to have to actually pay full price for this and put it in his collection. But yeah, after it was all said and done, yeah, if you don't know, this is a comic book that doesn't have any verbiage in it. It's just panels and pictures of Snake Eyes infiltrating a base to save Scarlet. And it's just great depiction. Probably one of the more popular G.I. Joe comic books out there. And last but not least, I always talk about collect some weird things every now and then. And probably the most valued comic book in this whole collection was Star Spangled War Comics. This has very much been loved. Ooh. But this is the first appearance of Miss Marie. Now you're probably thinking, so what? Is this an old war comic book, 10-cent, issue number 84? What could this possibly be? This is an interesting character if you go to look it up. So Miss Marie was a French foreign fighter. In comic books, this is her first appearance, but also as the story continues on, in canon today, she met up with a young British officer and had a baby with that British officer in a one-night fling, and that was Alfred Pennyworth. Yeah, that Alfred, that Batman's butler. Yeah, and they ended up having a child who's been in comic books, and she's kind of like a spy, super spy type character. So yeah, needless to say, I'll probably never see this comic book again, so I could care less about the condition of it, and it being just what it is. Also, the advertisements in this old stuff is just so cool. Just cool stuff in there. So yeah, and it's a Ratsy story. So yeah, that's amazing. So what did you think about these books going into his collection? We're going to get these bagged, boarded, protected, and sealed away for him. Also, what do you think we should put in these boxes? I'll definitely want to hear. If we can find it, and then maybe someday it will be of value, a little speculation, we can see what it becomes. Other than that, I got nothing else, guys. Thanks for coming by. Bye.